It must be arbitrary. Yes.
The whole thing seems so arbitrary.
Nothing in this kitchen is arbitrary.
Hey everyone, and welcome to TalkWord. You know how sometimes you hear a word over and over, and you kind of feel like you know what it means, but maybe not exactly? Well, today we're going to clear all that up for one super powerful word. We are decoding arbitrary. So let me just ask you this. Have you ever been at work, or maybe back in school, and a new rule comes down, and you're just left thinking, wait a second, why? That makes absolutely no sense. Yeah, we've all been there. And believe it or not, there is a perfect word for that exact feeling.
Okay, so that feeling, let's finally give it a name. We're going to kick things off by breaking down what arbitrary actually means.
All right, here's the official dictionary definition. Arbitrary is an adjective, and it means based on random choice or personal whim, rather than any reason, system, or logic. The two key things to really latch onto there are personal whim and the complete lack of reason, system, or logic. But honestly, an even easier way to think about it is this. An arbitrary decision is basically one that's made just because, right? It's when you ask why and the real answer is, well, there isn't one. It's not based on a plan, it's just a gut feeling or a sudden impulse. And get this, the history of the word gives us a massive clue. Arbitrary comes from the Latin word arbiter, which means a judge or master. So right away, you can see how it's connected to this idea of one person having all the power to just decide something based on their own judgment.
Okay, definitions are a great start, but to really understand a word, you have to see it in action. So let's go find arbitrary out in the wild.
We actually run into this kind of stuff all the time. Think about it. A teacher who says you can only use blue pens. That's totally arbitrary. Or what about a boss who just picks Tuesday for a deadline? Why Tuesday? If there's no actual reason tied to the project, well, then it's an arbitrary deadline.
Now, this is where the word takes on a much heavier, more serious meaning. When we start talking about law and government, arbitrary isn't just a quirky rule, it's about justice and fairness. Arbitrary arrests, for example, are arrests made for no legal reason. And you can see how laws based on arbitrary power are the exact opposite of a fair system. So the context here is absolutely crucial.
This brings us to something that trips a lot of people up. So many of us use arbitrary and random like they mean the same thing, but they don't. There's a really subtle but really important difference. Let's clear up that confusion right now. Okay, look closely here. Arbitrary involves a person. Someone is making a choice, a call, based on their personal whim. And that's exactly why it can feel so unfair. Now, on the other hand, random, that's just pure chance. Think about rolling dice or picking a number from a hat. No one's deciding the outcome. It's totally impersonal. You know, this quote just nails it. Arbitrary is a decision made from a whim. Random is a result drawn from a hat. It's perfect. One is about personal will, and the other is about pure blind chance. That's a great way to remember the difference. So you might be wondering, okay, why are we spending all this time on just one word? Well, because understanding arbitrary is so much more than a vocabulary quiz. It's actually a really powerful tool for how you think. Let's talk about why it really matters.
Seriously, once you truly get this word, it's like you start seeing the world a little differently. You can identify unfairness in a rule, you start thinking more critically about why things are the way they are, and you can argue your own points with so much more precision. It's a game changer to have in your toolkit.
So, I'll leave you with a question to chew on. Now that you're an expert, think about your world, your job, your school, your community. What is one arbitrary rule that you would change if you had the power? And hey, if you loved diving deep into this word, don't forget to check out our companion app, TalkWord, where you can create your own English word explainers for any word you want to learn. Thanks for joining me.